one question. So that was one question that I had in terms of how the group would like to set that up.
I think Steve said, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm using the Wi-Fi in the truck. I think Steve said Monday worked better for him so he could get everything together. Is that right?
Well, we have 8 proposals through, and we want to have our score sheets ready for the meeting, and then we discuss them with our concerns or whatever, and then we decide whether we're going to change our scores based on the group decision. Then we tally them all. We come up with a score, and then choose the top 3.
Yep.
So we could probably do that. I prefer to do it in person, but we need a location. We need availability of the sheet.
Just want to check. Is that me that I can't hear?
No. Steve, you're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah.
We're getting about every other syllable.
That's a problem. We need to decide if we're going to meet in a Zoom meeting or in person. I prefer to meet in person.
Yeah, I think in person is better.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I agree.
But it depends on people's availability, especially on a weekday.
Sure.
So let's see. Who's on the selection committee? And Mike Scaduto's on the selection committee. Do you have availability on Monday?
Let me look. Yeah, all I have is a meeting at from 9 to 11.
So couldn't noon. In trouble. Here we go. Michelle is available Monday afternoon. Is that correct, Michelle?
Yeah, I can make anything work, Steve.
I know Sean on the committee, Kelly are on the committee as well, right?
I think Stacy's on the committee.
Sorry, you're just really choppy. Did you say my name? I think I was nominated on the committee. Is that right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to be in town on Monday afternoon, probably around 2 or so. I can come earlier if need be. But we have a school committee meeting too that evening, so I'm going to be back in town on Monday, so I can do something.
Well, maybe we could set things up for maybe 3 o'clock on Monday. I have a golf outing Monday morning, so I can be back by 3. We just need a location. We just need a location. I wonder, maybe I can get a hold of
See, we can set that up for you as long if I've got a date and a time, I can set that up on your behalf.
No, that'd be great.
Probably here at Town Hall is what we would be doing, so that would be fine. We can. I'd be willing to volunteer on that front.
Maybe 103.
That's probably what we'll try for. Yes.
So Monday at 3 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys know? Is there an estimate as to how long this might take? I assume that we're going to be coming prepared, kind of having our own ideas on the scoring, and we're just kind of coming together for it, or is this first view at it?
Correct. It shouldn't take more than an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we just have our school committee. If I'm right, Kelly, that starts at 4. Is that at the library again? Or no?
Excuse me, it's at the high school library? Yes.
Okay.
And Steve Moore, I think when we talked about this, one of the things we talked that I think you were thinking about that everybody's having the time the weekend to be able to review everything, such that when you do meet, you already then have you've got your template ready to go in terms of everybody's scoring, and then kind of taking it from there. I mean, basically, people would be, as you said, Stacy, prepared and coming in having reviewed everything. Is that safe to say, Steve Moore?
Yeah, and sometimes people come in with questions. They're a little bit unsure on how to score a certain firm on something, and we can talk that through. It doesn't take much time, but we just want to come to a consensus.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But Steve, correct me if I'm wrong. We're not getting the packets ahead of time to look them over, are we?
Yeah, they're out there. They're out there on the Google Drive.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
sorry, I missed that.
On the Google Drive, we created a subfolder called where is it?
I don't see the subfolder.
It's called OPM RFS responses. It's a folder.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it has all 8 proposals in it. It has a copy of there's actually 2 copies of the scoring sheet. One is the original sheet that Steve Moore sent, and then the other one, there's 2. So I will delete the one that's not valid anymore.
Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. I got on a little late and missed that. Thank you.
Yep.
I'll look them over.
Yeah, and I also emailed to the group the scoring sheet. It's an Excel file. And if for some reason you cannot get into that Google folder, please let me know, because we had some issues this afternoon with Ryan and his assistant Lisa putting the files into it. I'm not sure why. So you should be able to get in and see the files and pull the files and look at them. But if you can't, please let me know. And if I need to, I will email you separately all 8 proposals if you need to. So take a look at that and let me know in the next day or 2 if you cannot get in and see those, please.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going through them right now, and they
also.
Okay,
I can
perfect.
see them.
Good, thank you.
Yep,
They're all there.
Thank you for doing.
Yeah, so I think the point being that you can start looking at it now,
Yep.
And start putting that time in, and you can kind of parse that out between now and the meeting at 3:00 on Monday to put that work in. Just to, if I could, Steve Moore, just to ask too, is the idea, we've got 8 proposals, is the idea to narrow it to 3 proposals, 4 proposals, 2? I mean, it's really up to you. You may even get into the committee and subcommittee and do that, whatever figure you determine to be appropriate.
The idea is to do shortlist 3, but if it's very close on, 10, we might do 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. So, just on the so those pieces are together. Steve Moore, I would just, and this is probably a question for the group that Steve Mark and I discussed today. We would potentially be meeting on the 23rd. And now the question would be there, do we just, will we vote to accept the recommendation of the subcommittee, or is there anything else on the 23rd we would want to have on that agenda?
That's a very good point. Vote tonight to accept the recommendation of the committee, because we're not going to meet again until after we need to get this information into MSBA.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
That's a very good point.
So Ryan, will you ask Lisa to make sure that meeting gets posted, please?
For the 23rd?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we can do that. So we've got
that's not an open meeting, so I don't think we need to post it, do we?
What? Say again, Steve?
That's not an open meeting. So we've never posted meetings where we got together to review the scores.
Well, I think that gets to some one of the questions I had about like what's a public meeting and what what we have to post. So I think maybe we can put a pin in that, Stephen, to get and that we'll get back to the group on that. But at least if we can plan that there'll still be another 7 p.m. meeting on the 23rd. Either way.
It
just
could be.
note-
Yep.
Just to note, a few of us have the PMBC meeting, I believe, at 7 p.m. on that same day too. Steve and Mike, do I have that right?
Oh, that's correct.
We could do 6:30.
You want to
You're
do 6:30?
What I'll do is I'll get a hold of Kim tomorrow, and I'll post the meeting next day. And if we don't need it, then we'll cancel it. But we need to post at least 2 days in advance. And if we're meeting Monday afternoon, that's too late to post it after that meeting.
So what time are we posting it for the 23rd?
6:30.
6:30. Okay.
Okay.
It would just be to take a vote to approve the recommendation.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good. And while we're still on the topic of schedule, if I could ask the group so that so we also have on Wednesday, August 30th, interview the shortlisted respondents. So presumably, if that's say 3 people, we'd have say 3 hours. I think Stephen Moore also had provided us with questions to ask. So, I think, Steve, the model you had, it was like 40 minutes of interview questions and another 20 minutes of, the group then discussing each applicant and then, of course, coming to a conclusion at the end of that period. Does that sound about right to you, Steve Moore?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
And let me just say, so also within that same folder of the OPM responses is a file that has those OPM interview questions that we initially came up with. So you may want to take a look at those, Steve, and see if you want to revise those anymore. That was from the original. We had that in the original RFS, and then MSBA suggested we not include that, so we took that out. So I created that as a separate document, and it's in that folder.
Okay.
Can I just ask, has that meeting already, is the invite already been sent out for that for August 30th? Is that again at 7 o'clock, or have I missed something?
Nope. We're just talking generally, and Stacy, to just outline how that process might work.
Okay, so as we get close to that date, we'll get that.
Nothing's been posted, right? And so yet another schedule / a process question for Steve Moore. So one of the things from the RFS, it says that the highest ranked responses or respondents will be shortlisted for the entire SBLC to review and approve. So the question then becomes, when we narrow it down to 3, is that a determination of the entire committee or of the subcommittee?
Subcommittee. I mean, well, the subcommittee makes the recommendation, and then the committee as a whole votes on it.
So do we present our top 3, or we just give our recommendation for who we would go recommend?
Let's see. It says we shortlist, right? Interview shortlisted respondents on the 30th. So we shortlist 3 of them on the 3rd, and we interview the 3 respondents, 3 or 4, on the 30th. I would strongly suggest we keep it to 3 if we can.
And would that be, Stephen, in terms of if we vote on the 23rd, yes, we agree that it's these, say, 3 shortlisted parties, and then on the 30th, we would then have is it the subcommittee that then is making the ultimate recommendation, or the entire committee? Because just from how you've done it in the past, and
you mean to the MSBA?
Well, right, because it's, again, it says the highest ranked respondents will be shortlisted for the entire SLBC to review and approve. So I don't know if the review and approve means that the entire committee needs
Right.
to participate in the,
Right. On the 30th.
okay,
Yes.
okay.
Makes sense.
the entire
30th,
okay.
yeah, well,
Okay, that's what I thought. It also says in this that a minimum of 3 references will be contacted before conducting the interviews. So this is another thing, Stephen Moore, that Steve Mark and I discussed. It. We had some set questions that you could think of, or I could ask MSBA to provide, and then I can have my assistant follow up with the references that provided for presumably the 3.
yeah, I keep my reference questions really very simple. Number one, would you work with this firm again? 2, did they come in? Did they, you know? I've got about 6 or 7 questions that we typically ask that are not too not like how many change orders did they have and that kind of stuff.
Okay, that's fine. And maybe we could use that. And again, it's already, those are essentially boilerplate questions that we would be asking if there's 3 shortlisted firms and we're supposed to be doing a minimum of 3 references, 9 inquiries that are sent out via email that we'd ask for responses on, and then distribute it thereafter. So does that make sense to everybody?
Do we do it by email, or do we call the references?
I mean, I would.
I think.
Yeah, I would say that having received a few of them in the past, usually it's been, I mean, at least recently, it's been mainly via email that those inquiries have been made.
Yep.
And we can give them a
That makes
deadline
sense,
too.
like timeliness of responses, connecting with people via phone, callback. I think, like Ryan said, email is the quickest way for people to read and respond.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And
you're
Michelle,
right.
we provide a
latest
deadline
ones
on it
I've
too.
received.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So, all right. And then, the only last thing I'd say is that it looks like, on August 30th, after we do the interviews, that's when we initiate the negotiation process with the selected respondent. And so I'd sent an email, which I think I copied Steve Moore and Steve Mark on earlier, to our new representative. By the way, we have a new representative who changed parties at MSBA from Brittany to, I'm blanking on the person's name that we'll be working with on it, but
Is it Christina or Christine?
No, it's Robin something or other. Robin.
Oh, Robin. Yeah.
okay. So just kind of
I have it
seeing
somewhere.
from them about what, how we go about that process and what expectation they'd have. So, so we'll work with that. So, so that's, at least process wise, I think where we're at. So I think the big picture for everybody is, keep your, our next upcoming meetings will be for the subcommittee Monday at 3 p.m. We'll get out a room. We'll post that meeting. Then we'll be meeting again as a full committee at 6:30 p.m. on the 23rd, which would be just before the main PMBC meeting. And then we'll be meeting again sometime on Wednesday, August 30th, for what would be a block of 3 hours to interview the prospective shortlisted candidates. I should ask for the group what your thoughts are about doing that virtually or in person. What's the group's thoughts on that?
I prefer in person.
I vote in person.
Okay.
So I did, Brian, I did copy you and Steve on an email, which I kind of picked back to Harrington. I was project director of one of the firms that is proposing. So I don't know if I have a conflict of interest or perceived conflict there, but I'm looking for some guidance there.
And we can proceed accordingly once we hear back from them about what they say. Suppose we could always switch somebody out with that, Steve, if necessary.
Steve, how long ago was that?
Let's see. I'm going to say it was 5 years ago. 5 or 6 years ago. I didn't leave on pleasant terms, so it could be perceived as not. It could be perceived that I'm not objective. I think I could be because they were good people. It's just that it was a management issue.
Well, don't tell us who it was, and then the rest of the committee can take it on their own.
No, I'm not. No, it's no.
You're demonstrating great discretion, Stephen. Very good. This is nice. This is so good. Good. Okay, that's what is it? What do we have
So
next?
I'll get hold of Kim tomorrow. Get a Zoom meeting credential set and agenda next Wednesday, and then we'll get that posted.
Okay.
If it's not a public meeting, I can create a Zoom using the school account and make one of you the host if you need to, or something like that, if Kim can't do it. So just let me know.
I think this does have to be a public meeting because this is
Right. It's not the subcommittee.
voting on the it's voting on the subcommittee's recommendation.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So we've been using the same for our meetings. We've been using the same meeting ID and password to get in to host it. So would that be the same link that everybody's using?
You know, it changes every time I get an email from Kim. I think the meeting ID is the same, but the passcode changes because of the time and the date.
I don't know. I've used the same meeting ID and the same password to get in for these Shaker Lane Building Committee meetings.
My understanding is
Oh.
that the town clerk's office has three separate Zoom accounts they can use for this. So if there's a conflict, they can hand that out at any given night. So it's possible, I think, that it could change.
All right. Well, I'll just plan to go through Kim. Then
Yep.
she can post it.
Right. Right.
All right.
Sorry, Mike. I hope you weren't waiting long. I didn't notice you dropped off.
I'm good. I fell off. Lost connection.
Did you get most of the information?
Yeah, I got almost all of it. I've only been off for 2 minutes.
Okay. All right. The next order of business is member input. Anything, Ryan?
No, I think I've kind of there are a lot of pieces that unfortunately Steve, Mark, and I met beforehand to go over everything and made sure and the key thing is everybody can read the files and on the Google Drive and read what's been submitted. So as long as that's the case, and we'll begin prepping for that meeting on Monday. I think the one question that I also had into town council is whether or not that meeting would be an executive session, because if you're coming to the meeting with information, but you're going to be deliberating the merits of each piece. So we want to see whether or not you could go into executive session for that, but it may be public too, and which is a possibility. So, but we'll be getting back to you on that.
Okay. Kelly, anything?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Steve Venuti?
Nope, I'm good.
Stacy?
The only question I had, because I was unable to make it to the Shaker Lane kind of tour, was is there anything, any written summaries or bullet points or anything that was presented to the applicants, or anything that I could review just to see what our shortfalls are in the building without having actually gone to it?
No, we didn't hand anything out. We just referenced the RFS document that has the statement of interest that we submitted that has all the deficiencies and all the, the building issue kind of things in it. That was it. They asked some questions about building sites, if other town locations were available. We did a quick rain-soaked tour of the outside and kind of gave them where the property boundaries were, the fields and the woods and that kind of stuff. So they really just had a chance to tour the building and kind of look at the current conditions.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Michelle?
Nope, I'm good. Thanks. I'm good.
Oh, you're good. Okay. Mike,
Yeah,
anything?
just for the record, Michelle.
I'm good.
And just for the record, Michelle did a splendid job during that walkthrough with all the prospective companies. So
Thanks, Steve.
Good job. Mike, anything?
I'm good.
Okay, and Steve, Mark, anything?
no, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Is there a second? Okay, all in favor? Ryan,
Aye.
Kelly,
Aye.
Steve Venuti,
Aye.
Stacy,
Yep.
Michelle,
Aye.
Mike,
Yes.
and Steve, yes. So that's unanimous. The next regular meeting is going to be next Wednesday. Set up, and again, we appreciate your participation, the time you're spending away from loved ones. Have a great evening.